Hey guys, welcome back to the Let's Play Metroid Prime. Last episode, we got the thermal visor in the Space Pirate Research Facility. And we talked about, Metroids, because we encountered Metroids. But there's something over here, though. Scans indicate that there is something behind here with cordite. So we gotta blast it with a super missile, and then use the thermal visor in order to activate the switch up there. So you're gonna have to go into that area before you can even go to come here.
Yeah. I believe you don't need the thermovisor to hit this switch, because if you know it's there, you can just shoot it without it.
Yeah, I think so.
But you can't lock on without the thermal.
Yeah, so that's how you get power to this door. This door leads to a boss. So this is the boss of Thardus. And I think this is kind of an appropriate time to talk about some gaming, development history, because Prime was kind of a rushed game. This was a game that Retro Studios actually had to do crunch time on. And it was after this game Nintendo said, yeah, we're not doing that no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is kind of the main example. This boss right here.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a boss based on your red pointer on the screen all of a sudden to a pile of rocks.
Yeah.
That wasn't that
wasn't that wasn't
it's
obvious.
probably nothing.
Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't the case. It's my monitor has a crosshair feature and it was acting up again.
This is actually kind of a cool boss.
What is this, Stone Talus?
Pretty much.
Might as well be, yeah.
Might as well be that.
I was joking!
This boss is named Thardus.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Thardus.
Okay, I thought you said something else.
It's a big fart.
It's a big fart. This is a Thardus. Thardus is a giant rock monster. And you have to use the thermal visor to find his weak points and kind of shoot at it. And then whenever you shoot at it enough times, you basically freeze his weak point. And then after that, you can start spamming missiles and super missiles to kind of do more damage to him. Occasionally, he'll start throwing these rocks and he'll start freezing you and whatnot. And when you get frozen, I don't think I mentioned this before, but frozen status in this game, if you're frozen, you have to rapidly push the jump button in order to escape being frozen. So, kind of like, you could just have to rapidly tap the jump button to get out of there. Sometimes he goes up and does his own morph ball trick and starts rolling around the room. But that's pretty much that. Your thermal visor will get overloaded when you hit the weak point enough times. Yeah, this is kind of a good topic to talk about this game in particular with its development cycle. This boss wasn't originally going to be the Thardus boss. If I remember correctly, this boss was going to be the Magmore Caverns boss, but it changed. There was originally going to have several bosses in this game, one being a very famous face in the Metroid series, and that was Kraid. Kraid was originally planned to be in this game, but they cut him out, and I think he was supposed to be the boss for a later area in the game, and another boss that was replaced there was supposed to be the boss here, I think.
Yeah, because according to a 2010 interview here with Mike Snelf, I believe his name is, it was revealed that Thardus was originally slated to appear in a large lava pit area, which hints towards Magmore Caverns. But then they changed things around because it just didn't work out anymore. To a point where Thardus actually has a hidden weakness that by normal means you can't access, but there is a later beam, to kind of jump ahead here a bit, called the Plasma Beam. Am I thinking that right? Yeah, it's Plasma.
Yeah.
It's the fire weapon in the game, basically. And as you can imagine, with Thardus now in a cold area and his weak points kind of look like ice, Plasma Beam does more damage than anything else to him.
I mean, makes sense.
It does, and also doesn't in some ways, too. It's a leftover for that reason. That's why no one really realized this is when the first game came out. It took a while for people to learn about that, and then started to do the speedrun tricks back in the day to even find his weakness.
Yeah. Yeah, Kraid was originally going to be in this game, and he he was cut, I think, really early
Does he
on.
always get the short end of the stick?
And Metroid Dread, it seems like Mercury's team just flat out hates Kraid. How many things they've done to him. But yeah, it's just like Kraid was originally going to be in this game. He looked a lot different too. He had like a metal helmet on and everything, and he had like really, really like obscene sizers for his claws. It was really kind of scary looking. Original concept art for him.
Yeah.
And
in a way, we didn't really get that kind of look for Kraid again until Metroid Dread.
yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the little development history about Thardus. Because Thardus was originally not supposed to be here.
Yeah. In fact, actually, there's
Oh,
another
look,
thing
over
that
here.
you can kind of tell there's some weird leftovers here, because in the trilogy version here, apparently, there's some very noticeable bloom lighting that we can see in this fight. This was not here in the GameCube version. And scans in, like, the research core area can indicate, like, thermovisor technology was used to transport Thardus to the quarantine cave, which is, like, a whole different area. It doesn't really exist here. It was a beta element. So, it was, again, hinting that this guy is not supposed to be here. He was planning to be somewhere else.
But yeah, this boss is pretty simple. Like, you just have to, it's just a rinse repeat cycle with him. Just avoid his ball. Avoiding his ball attack is just simply just moving out of the way. It's not really that bad. He can shoot his rocks he throws at you. Probably the best option to use is the power beam on those. Wave beam's really good, but wave beam's also really slow. And as the name implies, it's not very accurate because it, you know, goes all over the place. But it's so bright in here, I can barely see my health and the enemy's health in here.
This is the bloom effect that was out in the trilogy. It doesn't help in this fight much. It looks pretty, but I can't read anything.
No, can't read crap at all.
Here's another fun fact to throw at you here. Apparently, this boss was inspired by a movie monster, the rock monster called Gorgonak from Star Trek.
Really?
Parody Star Trek film, Galaxy Quest, sorry. I'm trying to read this from the wiki. Which makes sense. A lot of things in the Metroid series are inspired by movies, like the whole idea of Ridley Scott from Aliens.
The whole Metroid series was based off of the movie Alien.
Yeah, I mean, Samus is based off of, like, the main character from the series.
Sigourney Weaver's character.
Yeah.
So.
So you tell me Nintendo didn't have an original idea.
I mean, Donkey Kong is technically just King Kong, so this is not the first time.
So Zelda Skyrim, I mean, oops.
Skyrim before
Yeah,
Skyrim.
don't you know?
Hey, I mean, Breath of the Wild ripped off Metroid Prime because this is literally a Stone Talus. This is where they got their idea for Stone Taluses. Thardus.
Well, there you go. We defeated Thardus, and by the way, I got my favorite little attention to detail here in a second. You'll see it here in a second.
I do love how when Thardus falls down, his arms fall down with him, but they're floating arms. That makes no sense.
Samus got pelted in the head with a rock. I love that.
What was
To
that?
her, it's like a little tickle. Like, what was that?
Like, what was that?
Like, it doesn't hurt if you're wearing a metal helmet.
You just hear the bong. I was like, ah.
Spider
That's
Ball.
wrong spider, Matt.
I just hope I don't get copyright for this.
Well, it was nice knowing you guys.
Yeah, we got Spider Ball. Spider Ball is it was an upgrade from Metroid 2, and it got its like debut since then here.
Yeah, it hasn't been used since, and there was, well, it's kind of weird to say, technically 2 games in between, but maybe 1 since Fusion and Prime came out the same day. I don't know how we count that. 1.5. Hey, I'll go in the middle ground. Spider Ball wasn't used for like 10 years. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you want me to make the copyright worse? Just say Spider Samus at that point.
Spider Samus does whatever a bounty hunter does.
Now you have to deal with Nintendo too.
But yeah, the Spider Ball, what it does is it basically, there's certain magnetic tracks that are like scattered across the world, if you go and push the R button, Samus will stick to those tracks, and then she can kind of like go up the tracks. In the original Metroid 2, Spider Ball was basically used to cling on the walls and just kind of like scale the walls.
Yeah,
Wait
it's
a
kind of
minute.
the same concept, but more restricted now.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me. How did you get Spider Ball from a rock monster?
He was rolling in a ball.
But he's not a spider.
Hey,
I
man,
don't
those
know.
limbs were attached to him somehow. Magnets. Now you have his magnets.
This is kind of a weird area here. There's a save room right here. So, yeah, if you need to save, yeah, go right here. We got to go back to...
You denied saving? How dare you?
I'm recording. Oh, that's on recording.
This is in case the capture card catches on fire because we're in a hot place here, you know?
I mean, there was a Spider Ball track. If you couldn't tell, there was a Spider Ball track when we went down the elevator. But there's nothing we can do in that area past that Spider Ball track, so we're just gonna ignore it for right now and go down back to Mechmore Caverns because
Yeah, I mean, it has a door that you can't go through right now, so why go that way?
Yeah, so that's why we're just kind of ignoring it right now. To anybody who's like, well, why you just got Spider Ball? Wouldn't you want to use that track? Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Trust me.
you did, and then you stopped.
Yeah. Now we're about to do this energy tank. This energy tank's kind of a pain in the butt. I hate this one. I don't like doing this one.
This one, actually, I do like the puzzle idea. It's one of the more elaborate ones compared to just walk up, get it. Like half of the
Yeah, I guess so.
expansions.
What I don't like is the timer. There's a timer on this.
Yeah,
As
it
soon
is a
as
little
you-
tight.
Yeah. Basically, you have to go find these switches, and then you activate thermal visor and hit them. And then you have a time limit after this machine cools the lava down, in order to get through this labyrinth in the floor, and that leads you to the energy tank. But you're only on a timer. You'll hear the beeping noise. There's also Triclops here, because of course there is.
That's why I just immediately start spamming bombs. And unfortunately, he did the same thing, but he caught your trick.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, Samus looks yummy today. I'm going to just grab her before she even places a bomb down. So you want to go down the path that's obviously not using have lava in it. So
Oh, I thought Samus could walk through anything.
not yet. We don't have that item for it yet.
I was lied to.
Even then, I don't think in this game that protects you from lava anyway.
No, nothing protects you from lava in this game.
No.
You take damage no matter what.
And we gotta go back and go down the other path. Nope, not that way. Not that way.
There's those motion controls kicking in again.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Remap the stick back. I don't know how you keep on changing it. It's not supposed to be motion.
I do like the trilogy version a lot, though.
Do you think it's better than the GameCube version?
I'm gonna say yes for practical reasons, but also it's also one of those situations where I'm so used to, I played this game so much on the GameCube, I'm used to that control scheme, so it's just like, it's hard to choose between the two.
There are some things that are better and worse depending on the version. Like, aiming is better here, but changing your beams and your visors is worse compared to GameCube.
Yeah.
So it just kind of
GameCube
depends.
is just like on the C-stick.
Yeah.
It's
The only
literally-
thing you have in this game that makes this visor and beam swap fast is if you just press the buttons, whether it be minus or plus, depending on what you're doing, you'll go back to the default option, and that's it. And the default's always power beam and then your standard visor.
Well,
It saves you one click. That's it. It's not much.
yep. Well, we can't go through here. Bendezium's blocking my path, so nuts to that. I ain't going that way.
It's like they're trying to stop you or something.
Yeah.
That's one of the more useless ways, honestly, in the whole game, because by the time you get to it, it's not really that helpful anymore.
It just opens up a path to get back to Fendrana faster. That's all it does.
Yeah. I really only get that if I'm doing backtrack and stuff.
This guy is
Nice eyes, or whatever that is.
Giant spore monster. He opens his mouth, shoot it. He like oh, and he goes under, and he becomes a platform.
Wow, he gave up too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not much of an enemy. He's more of a stepping stone. Here he's showing how weak the weight beam is if he takes 6 shots to open 1 container.
Yeah. Well, it's not that it's weak. It's just it's sporadic. Its patterns are sporadic. It sometimes it just doesn't even hit the hitbox of the box.
Yeah, well that's why it is slightly weaker than the power beam, because if you don't hit with all 3 of the beams on something, which you're most likely not, it's not doing much damage.
Hey, I don't want to fight you. I'm just gonna let this stalactite do it.
Winner!
You're a winner. Trying to remember it's like this. Well, no, we don't have a certain weapon, but we do have stalactites, I guess.
Yeah, this room is stupid. It's like, oh yeah, you can go all the way around, but like, I'll just hop it. Why?
Yeah.
It's not really that much damage. Oh, I'll take the hit. Look, you're taking a hit now with poison.
Can I be honest? I really hate that you get the grapple beam so late in this game.
Yeah. By the time you get it, it's not really that useful. You only use it a handful of times.
Like, Prime is one of my favorite games, but there are some things in this game I'm just like, why?
There are certain things that give you either too late or they had no use to begin with.
Yeah. Grapple beam is literally one of those things. Like, this is a prime example. No pun intended. This is a prime example of where the grapple beam could have been useful. But...
yeah, I mean, I can echo that statement, because in Corruption, it is.
Grapple beam's like one of the first things you get.
Yeah, and it's used all the time in Corruption because of the motion controls.
I found a new appreciation for Prime 3 Corruption just recently. That game is pretty cool. I remember only playing it once and just being like, I had my fun with it. Prime 3 was really good when I went back and played it again. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this game being really good.
I think it's very underrated for what it is, because it's pretty much the fusion of the Metroid Prime series, where it's a more linear game, but it still has you do the traditional Metroid stuff and is still pretty open-ended.
I wasn't sure if you fell there on purpose. I was like, uh-oh.
No, I did. Okay, I guess we're going back to Talon Overworld? Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, you're probably working your way towards your next beam, because now you're able to do that. But obviously, we gotta go a distance for this.
Yep.
No fast travel.
We just kind of gotta... Can I say that starting from Samus Returns, that was a nice feature to add.
Yeah, as the Metroid series finally caught up to the other Metroidvanias in today's age, where Fast travel's a thing. I kind of feel like it's a necessary thing anymore.
Castlevania had warp rooms since like Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, since it made that genre. One of the first things it had.
So when I saw it in Samus Returns, I'm like, oh my gosh, they finally learned.
Yeah, that only took like, what, 15 years?
They're a little slow. They had to improve on some things, okay?
Yeah, I mean, they tried a bit with Metroid Prime 3, but there was like maybe 2 or 3 drop-off points a planet at most. It's like, it really wasn't that much better than just taking an elevator in the Prime games. The only advantage you had is you could get in the ship on the same planet and go back to that same planet, but just in a different area. That was it. You already got
that, man.
Stop that.
You already got that. Why did you go through there? Pass Matthew, why did you do that?
Hey, did I get this? Okay. Come back here later. I really gotta make sure. Did I get this?
That's okay, though. Yeah, next time on Metroid Prime, we're gonna be going back to Chozo Ruins, if I remember correctly, because now we have basically everything we need to get to the next upgrade.